Tune in. Let's go.
And we are live. You can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and Twitch. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be right back. How's over Baz? I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
I'm Melanie.
So sorry for all the technical difficulties, but we're back. We're back live. Thanks for the crew. Shout out to B Guns and John over here. But we're gonna start over here, right here. So this is a mixer segment, and so we have different entrepreneurs on the show. So we're gonna start over here: name, age, occupation, all that stuff.
Okay, so my name's Brianna. I'm 26. My background right now is in real estate, assisting and marketing. The last 2 years, I've been kind of just gaining my experience in real estate and building that overall experience and hands-on learning on how to market and build your clientele. I also had an event business that I started at 21. I built that into a 6-figure business. I sold it after 2 years once I kind of reached my goal, and then I focused on kind of just being a mom and whatnot. Got my real estate license, and then started to kind of apply that, using my license the last 2 years and gaining that experience. And right now I'm reestablishing myself, rebuilding, kind of building my own real estate business and clientele, and restarting my event planning business.
So what was the business that you sold?
Event planning.
Okay.
And that was BZ Rentals and Designs. My main focus was planning and coordinating weddings, baby showers. Nice. All of that fun stuff.
And so now you're getting back in it again? You're starting to build back up?
Yes, because
okay.
I had, in the 2 years, I built it, like I said, into the 6-figure business. And it was really successful. However, I had my baby, and it's kind of that's what I kind of ended up putting my focus in for that time, and studying for my real estate license.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. We'll go back into that. We're going to go with you now.
Okay,
Right here.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Olivia. I'm 29. I work in the mental health field, so I currently am a mental health specialist for the County of Orange. I process the paperwork to get homeless adults into permanent housing. And I also work at a rehab, so I'm a counselor for teenagers at a rehab out in Anaheim Hills. So it's been dope experience getting to understand and work with teens. I started my career out in San Francisco, so I went and got my degree at San Francisco State in psychology, and then started my career out there. I worked at a residential treatment facility for teenagers with mental health illnesses, and most of our clients had been referred to us because they had either attempted suicide or had a severe mental health illness that needed treatment. So they stayed with us for anywhere from 2 weeks up to 9 months. I became the manager of that and did that through COVID, became a case manager, and then I moved back last year. So now I'm working, I started at the rehab, and now I have the job at the county, but I'm applying for grad school to get my master's in social work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Well, business is booming, 'cause this is the biggest time for mental illness. It's everybody has that. It seems
absolutely.
Yeah. So how long you been doing it, you said, for?
Since 2019. I've been working in the field, though. I worked with kids with autism, so I worked as a behavioral technician as well.
You would go to their houses and stuff like that? Okay,
yeah. So I did that when I was doing my undergrad. And so I started that in 2017 when I first moved out to San Francisco.
What did you want to do the transition from that to the mental health?
So I originally got into the field. When I first started to go to school, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go medical route. I wanted to be a pediatrician, and then I was like, all right, let me check out nursing because the written exams in anatomy are hard. So I wasn't able to pass them, and I was like, all right, let me just try to pivot a little bit. And then I took a psychology course as a general ed, and it really just sparked my interest. I was super intrigued, coming up from a very traditional Latin background and culture and family. Nobody talks about mental health, so it was like, all right, this is what's going on, and this is what
you just drink instead,
right? You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you brush it under the rug, right? That's what we're told, but that's not exactly what you're supposed to do. So I started to learn, okay, there's names to these disorders, there's names to these feelings, there's things going on inside, and there's names to these emotions that you have and that you're experiencing. So it took off. I loved it. I got my degree in psych, and then I got some degrees, some like AA degrees and other things as well, communications and like humanities and stuff. And then I have a nephew who's on the spectrum, and so seeing and experiencing that is what really pulled me in. I was like, okay, like, how do I help him? You know, how do I give him and support him the best way that I can? And so I started talking to the behavioral technician that was coming to our house. And so when I moved up to the Bay, that's when I started doing that type of work. And then I got, through one of my friends, she was telling me that she worked at the residential, and I was like, oh, damn, like, I would love to do something like that. So I've always just been really interested in helping people, and I have a very special place in my heart for kids as well, just because I think about like if when you were a child or a teenager, someone just helped you out, right? Yeah. If someone just helped me out when I was a teen, my life could have been a lot different, right? So
if not, you turn into we'll have you ask me questions after, later.
Noted. But yeah, so like you said, mental health is an ever-growing field, and people are just now starting to talk about it within the past few years. But COVID really like propelled people into
the suicide rate was crazy.
Yeah, because people had to sit with their feelings, you know what I mean? And that's when everyone was getting unemployed, and that's when I became promoted to the manager of the facility. So that's when my career really took off, because people were really struggling, and especially teens, because their parents were forced to be at home, didn't know how to deal with their kids, I
was just going to say that a lot of times I feel like adults feel like kids should know better.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like you teach them, right and wrong, but then you don't ever ask them either.
Yeah.
And that's different because I have kids too. So it's one thing to raise them, but it's another to actually be involved with them.
Yeah.
And you have to know like how they are mentally, where they're at, how they're feeling. You have to you check in with them.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times adults or parents forget to do things like that for them too.
Well, I think it's too, my parents were always making sure that we had a roof over our head, food on the table.
Right.
And you have the basic necessities, right? But sometimes we forget to be like, how are you feeling today?
Yeah.
Are you okay? I see or notice this, or I'm noticing your behaviors this way, right? Just checking in with your emotions is not really something that is very common.
Right.
We just assume oh, you have food, you have shelter, you have the basic needs, you're cool.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
it's okay, there's things that are deeper, your brain is the most powerful muscle in your body, So it's understanding and diving into that it changed your whole perspective. And people always say when you study psychology, you can't look at the world the same anymore. But it's just because you learn and you're educated on why people do what they do. So
I bet you that's pretty crazy.
It is.
You probably look at people different now.
And then I bartended my way through school, so that was an experiment every day.
No wonder why he's here every day. Yeah.
So it was really interesting. I really appreciate my experience in the field, and I'm really looking forward to just growing in it as well. So. Unfortunately, your bachelor's is kind of looked at as a high school diploma nowadays. So if you want to level up, you have to get your master's, But there's some goals I want to achieve in my field. So I'm all right, let me do it now.
Well, we'll get back to that too. So we're gonna go with you. Name, age, occupation. And
my name is Ashley Webb. I'm 29 and I play pro soccer. I'm on the Salvadorian national team and I play for a pro team over there, first division. It's called Alianza. I also own an Auntie Annie's franchise. Working on my Jamba Juice right now because they're in the same LLC, And that's pretty much, and I'm studying real estate right now as well to get my license.
Okay, so let's go into the soccer. How long you been playing soccer all your life?
Since I was 4, it runs in the family, kind of. My parents didn't play, but my Hispanic side, they all played. My brother played, so my dad had me training at 5 years old with 11-year-old boys. So it really helped me out. Only girl.
Oh, okay.
Only girl, yeah. So did that, ended up playing club with boys as well. So my dad was like, no, you're only going to play with boys because they're so much faster. And then by 14, I couldn't keep up with them anymore. I ended up going to Cal State Long Beach, full ride, transferred to UCR, graduated there in 2018, and then was going to go play pro after. I ended up getting pregnant. Wow. Right before I was supposed to leave, a week before I left, or I was going to leave. And then I had to decide, obviously, I kept my child. And I wasn't going to play soccer after that anymore. And then the opportunity kind of hit me, and I was training again. And I got called up to the national team, and there it went.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long have you been national?
Since 2021.
And what's your business? You said the first one.
Auntie Annie's.
Yeah.
What
What's
is
that?
that?
It's like the pretzel places. You see them at like they're always at the malls.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like Wetzel Pretzel,
Yeah.
but like Auntie Annie's. Yeah. So I have one of those, and then
It's a
in,
franchise? You
It's a
have it-
franchise.
okay.
Yeah. So I bought that in September of this last year, and then I'm working on my Jamba Juice because they're in the same corporation.
To get a Jamba Juice?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Think-
Over here though, yeah.
This is like the first time we had girls that are actually doing shit.
Don't say it like that. Don't say it. Well, see, come on.
I'll take that.
You about to get us canceled. Don't. Y'all was doing shit too. Y'all was doing shit too. Right.
Losers. Oh yeah, just say
No.
Oh, they're
No.
nice women.
Oh my God.
Hey, come on.
Respectable.
Jesus. Stripping counts. You know what I mean? I was playing.
Stripping, OnlyFans, all that counts.
No,
but,
we
I mean,
we
that's what comes on here.
nah.
okay.
No, we've had
They have
a
money.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's very diverse here.
yeah,
so.
for sure.
Making it
It's
fast.
fine.
We support women.
As long as you're making money, that's all that
Hey, he
matters.
brought some winners in here.
We support women.
Right.
My boy Mark brought some boss women. Shout out to
I'm like surprised over here. I'm like,
Shout out to
what's
House of
going on?
Hookah.
I'm not used to this panel.
So let's
I like it.
No, it's a good
I was
panel.
nervous. No, I'm not.
so let's get in. So let's get deeper into you guys and let everybody know who you are. So, with the real estate, what made you want to sell houses? What made you want to get people in homes?
I want to say just the generational wealth behind it. So like not working a regular 9 to 5 and like kind of having to overwork myself, and learning about bigger business and like learning how to use your money to work for you and not working for it. That was my overall motivation.
So with the what is it, the event planning? You sold that one. Did you make like a good amount of money?
Oh
on
yeah,
that?
I built into a 6-figure business in the first 2 years of having it, and then I had my child, and it's kind of like, okay, so I hit my like goal of what I wanted to achieve, and I ended up selling the business because I kind of hit a point of like I was going through postpartum and like regular stuff, life stuff, motherhood and whatnot. And I took a break so I sold it. I took a break to kind of focus on like what I really wanted to do with myself and my overall goals, and that was real estate. So I studied for my license. I was taking courses in sales, marketing, and all of that. Got my license the first time. I was like, it's funny. I was like one of the youngest people in that testing class, like in that testing rank. Where like I went, and because the average like successful realtor is 55 years old, and that's statistically. I got my license the first time at 20. I was 22 when I got my license, and I kind of I didn't really apply it to myself until this like 2 years ago. I started working for a really successful group. They deal with nothing but $1 million and up listings. To gain like the experience of what I need to do and like how to gain the clientele. So right now, like what I focus on is their marketing and branding and whatnot. So the experience I've learned with them on how to like gain leads and like market themselves is what I'm going to apply to my own business now. And even with my event planning business, like everything I've learned on how to market them and like gain their leads is something I'm going to apply to like my overall like self and businesses.
So I do want to ask a question. So you're probably the first person that we had on here that actually sold their business. So what was like the steps you had to take to do that?
So it wasn't really difficult. So because what I did is like I had like rentals and like an inventory, and basically all I sold was that inventory, which was worth like a good amount of money that I had invested into, and like the name itself. So really like all it was just kind of like a cash interaction in a sense. And I didn't sell the LLC or anything like that. I still have that obtained to myself. What I sold was like the inventory and the name itself.
Okay. So in a sense, like, because you still own the LLC. Is a new one going to open up with that same LLC?
Actually, no. So I'm going to shift it like a DBA because I have like a whole new branding and like strategic that I want to apply to that. So I'm kind of going to like take it from like what I have and go under that and establish that new business.
I'm just wondering because I know a lot about this stuff too a little bit. So like the when you basically license the name out to that company then that's
No, what I did is I sold the whole inventory of what I had built.
But they can still use the name and you still own the name though, right?
No, so
No,
I
just
guess
the
not-
inventory.
Just the inventory
No.
itself. So maybe I kind of like mixed that up a little
okay.
bit, but just the inventory itself, that like the main pieces. And
So they
like,
renamed it, rebranded it. Okay.
Yes.
Because if they didn't, you had to give them a percentage, or you would get a percentage.
Well, you
correct?
still can't do that, but it's like they.
No, she sold it all. She sold it all.
I know
Well,
that,
you can't.
But I'm saying
if
you can do that. It's almost like you give them permission.
I
to
still
use
own the
name.
LLC of it, like the whole name itself.
They have to get their own.
But now,
I get it.
Yes, but using that inventory that I had built up.
That's cool. That's
Sounds like a lot. Shit.
And the clientele, like all of the emails, like phone numbers, like I sold to them.
Get all
Shit.
stressed out. He's like, yeah, work.
Too much. At that point, I'm
Do you
hiring
have,
somebody.
like a team working with
Right.
you or helping you, or you're doing it all on your own?
All on my own, from the planning to like being. I mean, I'll bring in family here and there to help me like on set and like hire them like event to event, but nothing like really like a whole like team established yet. But that's my overall goal in this next coming like few years.
The
you
girls got a lot of
started
people
off
watching
by
you right
yourself.
now.
By myself.
You guys got a lot of
Right.
comments. We'll
I
get
read
into
them right now.
them.
So
Yeah.
how is it? So obviously we know each other because of the nightlife. How do you keep a balance with
Okay.
obviously because it's long nights. Obviously it's you know what I mean.
You know, so in the last year, of so you know, I sold my business. I took a break, and I started working on kind of like a regular 9 to 5, you want to say, to gain my experience in real estate and kind of learn what I need to do. Most people, they take the take of like, okay, getting your real estate license and kind of just trying to like dive in. I've taken kind of like a way of like almost like not an intern, but almost in a sense because I still get paid. But to kind of like gain my experience, I'm working for a group who kind of has that established name and that established clientele, and like working under them to like really learn the hands-on of real estate and what you need to do to like be successful in real estate.
Right.
So, you know, I kind of took a little bit of a
Hiatus. Yeah.
right, you know, not making as much money or gaining as much capital. So I got into nightlife. Which is like bottle service and like bartending.
But
and
you can get a
whatnot.
lot of contacts out of nightlife.
Yes.
You do rub a lot of shoulders with a lot of people that you would never know who are in the industry
Absolutely.
of even real estate. Because a couple of my boys buy bottles from you, like you know what I mean. So
Yes.
you never know who you will meet.
Exactly, and I've gained so many contacts and connections through the nightlife already. The balance, though, has kind of been my little bit, you know, I'm not going to lie, like getting into nightlife and kind of, you know, like the drinking and whatnot. It did, in my background, you know, there's a lot of traits that aren't the greatest. And it did kind of take me.
Let's get into it.
No, like real. It took me a few steps back, I'm not going to lie, in the last year. And I kind of got caught up and I got like,
Ooh.
my focus kind of got shifted a little bit. And I got used to the fast money. But as fast as it comes, it goes
yeah,
in
for
this
sure.
life. So right now, I kind of feel like I'm in the era of like learning the balance of the two of like, okay, focusing on what I want to use this extra income, how I want to like overall apply it to my overall goals, and not get too caught up into it or let it become me.
Well, the thing is too, like, because you guys, it seems like all of you are hardcore about your jobs. A lot of times, like, I feel like you either go hard one way or the other. Like, you don't do things like low key. It's gonna be like all the way.
Exactly.
So that's usually what happens with entrepreneurs and like, you know, people in there that are deep in their careers. So I mean, how did you stay balanced? I mean, being a mom, doing full-time soccer, that's crazy.
Were you traveling at the time?
Yeah. So at that point, when I first got called to the national team,
Yeah.
I would leave for 2 months. So I would literally leave for a month and a half or 6 weeks, and I would leave her because in camp it's literally like I train at 8, train at 12, and I train at 6
Across country too.
in El Salvador. So yeah,
yeah.
you know, flying 5 hours in Central America. And when that would happen, I would have to leave my daughter, and at that point, my dad would take care of her, and her dad obviously would come pick her up when he could because he works as well. But yeah, it was really intense, and I would go over there though, and I would be like really depressed sometimes. Like she knows, like I would be like, dude, you know, I don't want to be here anymore. But then I have to remember, like, this is only for you. This is only for you. This is only for you. And it's a grind. So like, you're doing trainings 3 times a day, 5 days a week. There's no break, and then you play 1 game, and you're doing that for 3 weeks until you have 1 game, and it's a crazy discipline. You can't leave the federation either. So you can only leave if you tell them like, hey, we need to go to the store. Okay, we'll all go to the store. You don't just get to walk out the building. So it's literally concentration. They call it concentration.
Damn.
Wow.
And you stay for 3 weeks, have 1 game,
You gotta be like mentally stable. for
mentally
something
so
and you're in a
intact.
different level because you have a kid and you're leaving
Absolutely.
your kids.
So I
you're
would
in
like
a whole different
FaceTiming her,
world.
and then I would come home, and she wouldn't want to talk to me. And my daughter was, at that point, she was 2. She would not talk to me for like 2 weeks. She would literally ignore me,
So
not talk to me.
What would keep you from when you're out in a different country? What would keep you grounded? Like as far as like making you want to
question.
stay. Like, is it like the phone calls, or is it just like you praying? Like, what was your
Absolutely.
We always
foundation?
talk about that here. Like, you can get into anything here.
No,
because
yeah, I'm absolutely
we're Christian, so like
have
with
a
the
yeah,
prayers,
so-
like
Absolutely. So like I had a really like my dad was very supportive, very supportive, very like if this is your dream, and it was like when you write down things like a goal.
Yeah.
So in 2019 I had wrote down like say 5 goals. Being on the national team was one of them. And as soon as I crossed that off, and then my second one was getting a medal, like a gold medal, a bronze medal, some type of Olympic medal. I hit both of those. And within, you know what I mean?
Congrats, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
Can I
within
have an autograph?
within like 4 years, and at that point, that's why I really was like, cool, I hit 2 of my things that I wanted. You know what I mean? And I think that motivation, because I had worked so hard since I was 4 to play.
Yeah.
Like I've been playing since I was 4. There was no backtracking now. There was no giving up everything now. And like the national team's the highest level you can be at.
Yeah.
So it's like, as soon as I made that and I was getting call-ups, I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm here. There's no, you know what I mean?
And it has to be hard, like leaving your child, but like you're not doing anything wrong. You're like you're
Right.
pushing, you're building yourself, and
then-
and it has to be hard though, obviously.
Absolutely.
But I think it's a great thing that you're doing.
And then it honestly just sets a goal for her.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my mom got to do this, Like a lot of people are like, oh, I gave up my goal because, you know what I mean? Like, oh, my dreams,
for my
or like for their man or whatever. That was never the case.
That's
I was like, I'm
very,
gonna
very
do
true.
this, and and you're gonna see it now. Because when we have these videos and you see that
She gets
mom
older,
is
she's
playing
gonna be
this,
like, yeah,
Right.
she
This
did it
is
for a
what I'm
reason.
gonna do now.
She's gonna understand.
And then she
She
understands.
sees like you gone, but she's not gonna remember it when she
Yeah.
gets older. That she's gonna see her mom
Absolutely.
and as an example and as an idol.
Well, she's gonna
because
see your discipline. That's
That's
the
it,
thing.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And,
And then,
and
like-
she'll want to be disciplined like you.
Absolutely. And then this last time when I went to El Salvador to play pro, I took her. I told her dad, like, hey, I'm letting you know I'm taking her.
Because he has to sign.
Yeah, and you
in
had
order
to
for
sign
the-
exactly
before
for
to
us
leave.
to leave.
Yeah, country.
So I was like, we're gonna be gone for 3 or 4 months, and he's like, cool, go do your thing.
Nice.
And at that point when we did that,
That's good. That
yeah,
he let you- and
he's
he didn't
super
bite you on
supportive.
it. That's
Absolutely.
good.
No, keep on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, so at that point we just handled it, and she came with me, and she went to like academia out there, which is like their trainings for little kids. So she was playing, and this upcoming time,
So
I'm
she got to experience a little bit too of
Absolutely.
your lifestyle and
Absolutely.
see, like,
Talk right here.
what mom is actually doing.
absolutely. She went on like
while
all my
she's
games,
gone.
There it
everything.
is. You're good.
So yeah, when I took her, and then I'm supposed to leave in about like 2 weeks right now. I'm gonna take her again, and I'll put her in bilingual school. Like I have plans, you know what I mean?
How old is she?
She's
now,
5.
Now? 5 now? Okay.
Yeah.
Does she want to play
I
too?
like that whole story. Like that. We don't
Thanks.
get people in here like that anyways. But like
It's
telling a story like
tough.
that. But
Thanks. Yeah.
I
Appreciate
I
that.
know it has to be tough, but you're not doing anything wrong. You know, you're
Right.
doing something right. You're teaching her fundamentals. You're teaching her a lot of stuff. by doing
Absolutely.
that. So
Thank you.
And then,
what do you think about all that she does? Because you're on the mental health stuff.
Well,
is she
I
crazy?
mean,
Is she crazy?
this is my best friend. I mean, I've known her since I was 14, so
Okay.
we've been through all stages of life together. So it's honestly so incredible to see her journey and to see everything that she's accomplished. And I got to go out there twice while she was there, and just even experiencing that, like I went to go see a game, and then I went for the championship and got to see her become like
Oh, that's cool.
a champion out there, So it was
Nice.
it was incredible. Like, and I used to see how hard she played in high school.
Well, not a lot of people get the opportunity that you got.
On that level,
Yeah.
at least.
That's a major
Yeah.
opportunity. You know.
So, what did it inspire you to want to play more?
Yeah, so I started playing when I was 5, and then I played up until high school. And then in high school, so we went to a brand new high school. When we first, it was in Yorba Linda, and they had just opened a new high school. So it was only 2 years. It was just freshman and sophomore.
Yeah.
And I thought, you have to go to the summer camps in order to make the team. And my family couldn't afford it. There was 3 of us in high school at the same time. Like, I was like, oh, we can't, I didn't do the camp. I'm not going to make the team. So they were recruiting for water polo and swim. And I was like, I love swimming. I've always been a swimmer, but I was like, I've never, competed. And they were like, just try it, see if you like it. And I loved it. I mean, varsity, we won championships and stuff. And like, it was cool to like build up the
Water polo.
in water polo. And then if you were playing polo, you had to do swim to stay in shape. So I did that for 3 years. And then I took a break because I got injured. I got kicked in the back really bad in a game, and then it kind of messed up my nerves. And so I was like, okay. And then my stroke in swim was butterfly. So like, the typical Michael Phelps kind of stroke. So it was hard on your body. And so I needed to heal, but I was also like, I've been an athlete since I was 5, so I was too eager to get back in the pool.
Working through the pain.
Yeah, I was like, let me get back in. And so my coach was like, no, you need to like, until you're cleared, like you can't go in. And I was like, all right, bet. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm cleared. And he called my mom. And he was like, is she cleared? And my mom was like, nope, she's not cleared. And I was like, dang. So, yeah, so then I just stopped playing after that because I was like, you know what, like I'm a senior now. And then I went through a lot during my senior year too. I lost my dad. So
Sorry about that.
thank you. Yeah, during that time, it was like, at that point, I was like, okay, let me just on to the next step, you know? And so I didn't start playing until I moved back last year. So yeah, she did inspire me to like get back on the field because I moved back down March 1st of last year. So it's rolling up on a year. And it was mentally the most challenging thing I've ever gone through in my life.
Starting back playing?
Well, no, just moving back to like my hometown, you know, just because it kind of happened like a lot faster than I had anticipated. I had 3 weeks to kind of like figure it out. And so I moved from the Bay. I found out I needed to move like early February, and then by March 1st, we moved down. So I had planned on moving back to Southern California because I was up there for 7 years. So yeah, so a lot of my growing up, a lot of my making mistakes and figuring things out and starting my career was up in the Bay. So it was really cool, like to have that experience. But I didn't move down in the way that I wanted to. Like my plan was I'm going to go to San Diego or I'm going to go to a different city and like.
What made you move, if you don't mind me asking?
So I was living with some roommates and there
She's
was.
smiling. So this is something. This is some good juicy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't
let's hear
we want to hear it, but you don't have to tell us, but we want to hear it, though.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I was living with some roommates and like, you know, everyone's on their own path.
Yeah.
And so one decided that they wanted to go travel and they went to travel but only gave us like 3 weeks. So
the rent and
so
shit
the
and all
rent
that.
and everything, and like me and the other girl just decided like we're not in a place to like find a new roommate, and we had been wanting to move down, and it just was a lot faster than we thought. And being in the mental health field, you don't get a job and you get hired, but it takes like 2 months to start. It takes time. You have to go through background checks. You're working with clients. You're working with other people, and I'm very sensitive since like information, so it takes time. And I didn't know if I was going to work in LA and San Diego and Orange County and the IE. Like, I had no idea. You know, I was applying anywhere and everywhere because I didn't know where to go. But my family was like, just move back home. Okay, and to me, I was like, absolutely not. Like, there's no way. I left home for a reason.
Right,
I'm not
come
coming back.
yeah.
Like, and so it was more mentally like a mental block that I had to go through because I had always told myself like, no, like I'm not moving back to Yorba Linda. There's no way. I left there and I will never go back. And so being 29 and moving back into my parents' house, I was like, for me, it felt like a setback. As much as everybody was like, it's not. Like, I appreciated that, but to me, it felt like it because I had everything. I had a home. I had everything for myself, which I built for myself because I moved up to the Bay by myself and did it all, you know? So when I came back and was with my family, that part was great. And my grandma wasn't doing well. So like you know, I needed to be closer to her as well. So it's been nice to like spend more time with family and be closer and be more involved. But at the same time, just like mentally, it was really difficult. You go through your own routines and having your own space and having your own privacy. And I didn't have a room until 2 weeks ago.
So with you being in the field you're in, and you're going through all that, and you say you weren't in the right space.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I am now.
Oh, that was a good one.
I am now.
That was a thinker one right there.
I definitely am now. Compared to like where I was a year ago, it's like night and day. We talk about it all the time. Like we went to dinner a couple of nights ago and I really told her, I was like, thank you so much for just like helping me through this, you know? Like I would not have been able to get through this past year had it not been for her and her support.
Because it's like you're the helper.
Yeah.
So who helps you? Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing though too, is like I was just telling Bree as well, like you're trained. I could tell you how to deal with it. I could tell you what you need to do, and I could tell you everything you need to do as well, and how I can help you and resources and provide you with everything. But when it came to myself, it was like, oh, I'm not ready yet. Like I don't want to talk about that yet. Yeah. I don't want to deal with that yet. So
that shit looks fire.
when I decided well, not really. I mean, yes and no. I also prayed for it. You know, I had prayed to get into grad school. I had prayed to have my own spot and to have a good job and to have a job that was going to pay for me to get my degree, right? And when I decided to
Does she ask her if she needs it? Ask her if she needs it.
She inhaling?
I got one if she does.
It's in there.
Oh,
She was coughing. I figured that was going on.
But yeah, I had prayed for this, you know. I just God works in his own way, and we have our own plan and our idea of what we want to do, but God has his plan. And I'm very much so like, I have a plan and I want to be as prepared as possible and I want to be organized, and you know, there's things in a certain way that I want to do it, but that's not God's way.
yeah.
Right.
And
Not up to us. Not us.
and I had
I see both
to
you girls wearing crosses.
yeah, no, for
Oh, yeah,
sure.
firm.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, no, yeah, always. Since, I mean, we grew up in the church, you know,
Yeah.
and like, I think that's also another aspect as well. Like when you grow up in the church, you have these morals and ethics, and then you get involved with being a teenager and then a young adult, and then I was bartending in the Bay, and there's the fast life, right? And so I steered off. I'm not gonna lie, like I went through my downtime.
We all fall short.
Wiling out, and it taught me a lot. And even coming back, I wasn't mentally okay, so I was like, let me just drink or let me just do this, right? It definitely calmed down because I was living with my parents, but it wasn't completely done. I really had to sit down and walk through all the trauma that I was trying to avoid for so long.
Because we had a conversation, like I think like last week.
Yeah.
You don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
So like, where's your mind? Is your mind? You know what I mean? Better.
So there's a lot of contributing factors.
And you also
to that.
right? You don't drink anymore either, right?
But even prior to this, like even
The
prior
mic.
to, sorry about that. Even prior to this past, like deciding really not to drink or anything, I never really drank.
It wasn't.
So like I wasn't really a drinker.
You're always training. So
And
it's
that's
kinda
why, because I
hard,
knew
yeah.
my body's really important, right? But also I had parents who were addicts. I had parents who did drugs their whole lives. So it really affected, you know, in my mindset. Like my brother was a wild one. He was the party animal. Me, I never took on that role. My dad had me so focused and like so strict that there was no ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah. My dad passed away this past June, and that was the first time that I had probably drank. Like one night, I got tossed.
Yeah,
and
for
after
sure.
that night, I was like, get it together.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Like,
All
you're
right,
not going to
now
do
snap
this. Yeah,
back,
we're not
yeah.
doing this. We're not doing this. And I also have a child. And my daughter's never seen me smoke. She's never seen me drink. She's never seen me. And I would never display that for my child. I would never, you know what I mean, display those aspects to her. Because that's not the life I want her to live as well. And I think that plays a big role into also why I conduct myself that way.
And
you know?
And what was your reasoning for the drinking? The
So
stoppage?
I stopped drinking because a few things. I think personally, I realized that, you know, utilizing substances, because alcohol is a substance that,
For sure.
you know, it's not providing me any good. And I was playing 4 times a week with her, hitting the gym all the time. So if I'm in the gym and I'm on the field, putting poison in my body is doing the
it's not gonna
exact
work. It's not gonna
opposite of
work.
what I really
It's not
want
gonna
to
work, yeah.
accomplish, you know? So it was like, okay, think about what you're doing. And then I'm a counselor at a rehab.
You can't
for
show up. You can't
teenagers.
show up drunk
So
and
what
then
kind of
give them a
hypocrite
lesson.
am
Yeah.
I if I'm over here like, you know, and I get it. You can be a counselor who they call them like normies, right? Which is like whatever. That I think that's a whole nother thing. But I think that for me, I just needed to take that break. I drank a lot for a long time. And I became a different person as well when I was drinking, you know?
You're not.
You're
as
hiding.
Good at
You're
all.
hiding something. You're hiding
You're not
something.
as good, right? Right, John.
Well,
When
you
drink.
mask a lot.
Yeah, you're hiding something. You're hiding something, but what you don't realize is when you sober up, it's you know what I mean. You're back to however you felt.
There's a lot
You know what
of
I mean?
and I think it's just a temporary Band-Aid.
Yeah,
It
well, you're
doesn't really-
suppressing.
You're
like,
suppressing
it. It hits you harder later, actually.
Yeah.
Like low key, it's like
No, it really
boom.
does.
It's like I was kind of not thinking about it. Now it's like fucking boom.
I'm gonna read a little. I'm gonna read a little bit of the chat.
You guys have a
Who-
lot of people watching.
Who knows how to read Spanish?
Yo.
Mira. So I think
A ver.
the two, the first two.
Right here.
Yeah.
Saludos a mi amiga Ashley. Karen! Hola, Karen!
Besitos.
Ashley a baddie. Hey. Ashley, miss you.
Say the person's name too, though.
Karen? Oh.
The handle.
Irvin Martinez said, "Esta la niña bonita."
Okay. And you can go from there. Read the handles, all that stuff.
The handles? All right. Who else? Marcia Remy, she read it. Irvin.
Huh?
Irvin. Bellamar, whatever it says. Does Ashley want more kids? She looks like she's ready for twins with the heart.
Oh my god.
Who said that?
That's crazy.
Irvin Valdemar.
No, I don't know.
Okay, we just have regulars that
Yeah.
watch, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
probably just, and they hit on the girls all the time.
Dang, asking for twins is
Not for, yeah, twins is crazy. Not just one. That motherfucker's expensive.
He's like, I'm like,
Right.
two up in here.
Eggs is at $20 a case right now.
crazy.
Why are we want
If I don't
kids?
have to carry it, shit.
And then he wrote again. He said, "Yay area." So I was really doing, yeah. So, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, you're wild for that one for the twins. That's it. Yeah, she read the other. She read the other.
Oh,
one.
okay, okay.
So she's back. She had a.
I'm back.
She went to
I
Kaiser
need
real
to
quick.
say Halo.
Why don't you tell everybody that what happened?
Oh, I had a whole asthma attack right now. You guys needed to go take care of that.
Yes, got your back.
So you growing up, did you like what was your plans as far as a young lady like? Was it real estate? I mean, but
No,
or
I
right.
honestly
So
come from a rough background. I kind of come up from my
Closer
parents
to the
were
mic.
my parents were addicts, both of them, and they were like fourth generation over here. So I didn't really even have like that bilingual, like get any of that teaching. Both of them kind of have like a same thing with their parents. Also addicts. So I kind of
Addict
have,
life.
yeah.
My
he's
parents.
not an addict. He's not an
Oh, my
addict. His
parents were
parents.
addicts too,
Same,
that's
same,
why.
same with mine. Both of mine were.
Really like
Yeah.
out
Damn.
the
Very
ghetto and
common.
out the mud type of thing. They didn't really have any goals, any careers, anything. It's kind of like my dad was like, affiliated and whatnot. My mom, same thing, met him through all of that. They didn't even graduate high school, either of them. Same thing with their parents. So I
Scoot
wasn't
closer to the mic.
I wasn't really taught any of that.
There you go.
And I wasn't really taught any of those morals or anything or forced into anything. I wasn't brought up into anything.
Oh,
Once
really?
I hit a certain age, like 15, 16, I kind of like, I saw what I didn't want, like all my life.
Right.
However, I was almost pulled into that, I got addicted myself for a while.
Right.
Especially in the young years of my life, up until I had my son. And I was doing the drugs, selling the drugs, like all of that. And it came to a point where my mom almost died in what I was doing. Because she was like, kind of like buying from like where I was at and stuff.
Yeah.
And it took that to get me out of what I was in. It wasn't even like necessarily having my son at the time, because I still got right back into it after I had my son. And it took that like life or death experience to pull me out of what I was in and really refocus and realign myself and be like, okay, this really is not what I want. This isn't the life that I want for my child.
So that situation saved you.
It really did. My parents were like coming to pick up off of me from where I was at.
Right.
And a situation happened. And it was actually like, first it started with me. Like I was being like attacked at a point, and my parents tried to get involved, and the guy like attacked my mom, and he hit her over the head like 2 centimeters off of the temple. I seen her fall to the ground and just like a pool of blood pour out of her head. She started having a seizure.
Right.
And I thought I had lost my mom in that moment. And it was like the most traumatic experience to this day that I've been through, but also the most life-changing. And from that moment on, I stopped the pills. I stopped everything. I stopped selling. And I got into like legitimate. And I was like, I realigned myself and refocused myself to what I wanted to do.
And you were still a teen when that happened.
Yeah, so I had got pregnant at 19, had my baby, got right back into it. And that happened when I was 20 years old. And then, so by 21, I had like a moment of just like kind of reanalyzing and like refocusing myself and like unlearning habits and learning new habits. And that's when I started my event planning business.
Okay. And then from there, so now with the event planning business, what's your target as far as event planning? Is it weddings? Is it quinceañeras? Weddings.
That's where I feel like the big money is, and that's where I like made the most money back when I had it. However, even at the time, like when I like hit my goal and I like had this successful business, I went through a point of just like postpartum and kind of like really like analyzing what I had been through and kind of like going through like taking care of that like
why
yeah, that hurt and just like that stuff, because I feel like I was kind of just going from like phase to phase, like, and trying to just always distract myself with things, and like even with the business, and not really taking care of the inner work that needed to be
that's
done.
what we're talking about.
Yeah, and so like, you know, when I sold it and I had this time to kind of just reflect and like really get in tune with myself, that's when I just kind of like, you know, started to like I said, unlearn like these habits and traits and like this mindset, and getting into like a new mindset and learning what I wanted to like provide for my child.
What did you do to like unlearn those habits?
A lot of self-reflection, a lot of God. I got into church. I got into all of that. I kind of built a family out of that.
Do you girls all know each other then? Oh no, you guys. It's because you're all wearing crosses and you know.
Everybody loves Jesus. It's okay. We're all
We don't have a lot of girls that come in here like
we're
that.
all brothers and sisters in Christ.
No, yeah. So it took that and having that support. And I had like a spiritual mother, I call her, and a spiritual father, where they kind of took me under their wing and really showed me that like love and that parenting and that stuff, like what it should have been. Nicole and Mario, like big time.
Shout out to you guys for saving
Shout out to them. They really took me under their wing. At some point, I felt like I was living with them. In those like at some point, and even because like I had stepped away from a moment, because even in my teenage they tried to help me. I stepped away, got into what I got into, and then kind of like went back to them for like mentorship and whatnot. And that, yeah, so just overall that helped me, just like having God and just you know. And then I would spend a lot of my time just reading, you know, learning everything that I learned through like, you know, books, podcasts, and all of that.
So I feel like all
were
three.
you raised in the church?
I actually was through my grandparents.
So you
though.
went back. That's usually how it goes too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if it weren't like even if it weren't for them, I would really like.
You would have went back somehow.
So they kind
This
of
man.
gave you that foundation to kind of go with, even though we're not perfect, we kind of go
Fall
astray,
short, yeah.
astray, you know, every now and then, but you had something to fall back on and always go back to.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
good.
So it sounds like all three of you girls, like your foundation is God.
Solid.
God
yeah.
for sure.
So I mean, that's strong. That's powerful, because I mean, in reality, all this is gonna burn. Like none of it's like that's the only
You're not gonna
truth
take anything with
in
you.
this world.
So how for you, how do you, with coming around all these personalities, how do you like still manage to like help people and like hear the fucked up shit that you hear, everybody's traumas, and then you still want to do this? Like,
Will that kind of mess your head up? A
yeah,
little
right.
bit?
You
damn.
still want to do
How
like
do-
you like you said, every psychologist looks at the world differently after
Right.
they learn how. Like, how do you like still want to do this?
I think ultimately, if you get into this field, it's because you have a foundation of like wanting to help people, but you want to help people because of what you've gone through, right? And I have my own history and my own upbringing that it was like, you know, it took me to a certain spot where I felt really low, and I experienced things in my life where I contemplated suicide, and I, you know, was going through my own mental struggle. So when I even found out that there was, like I said earlier, like a name to that, when I found out that other people experienced those things, it really opened my eyes to everyone does. Everyone has a story. It's just, number one, are you willing to talk about it? And number two, are you willing to seek help for it?
Definitely.
Right. And then working at the rehab really opened my eyes more recently within this past year, because I think when I was up in the Bay, I was partying a lot. So with that comes a lot of fast life. I was bartending. So like you were saying, like the nightlife, right? Like it gets you.
It'll suck you
It'll
in.
suck you in, and it
Yeah.
sucks you in quick, because that money's fast, that money's quick. You network, you meet a lot of people, and it was
Right.
fun. Don't get me wrong, it was super fun. But at the same time, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
It's not good for you. And now working at the rehab with the kids, I let them know, like, look, people try to warn me too, but I have this mentality of very prideful and strong, where I'm like, but not me. I'm invincible. It's not going to happen to me.
I feel like the first step too is like acknowledging
Oh, for
that
sure.
there is, you know, and you have to acknowledge it within yourself
Mhm.
and then want to seek help,
Yeah.
seek change, and,
Yeah.
and kind of heal that part of yourself.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely all about balance, right? Like there are definitely times and clients that I've worked with where like my heart aches for them. Like it's horrible and horrendous, some of the things that I've
Does
heard.
it spill over on you sometimes?
I mean, yeah, there's times where I mean, I was actually just telling Bree too, like there was this one client who I will never forget, but she was having a complete breakdown, right? Complete breakdown. And I was helping her through it. And when she decided when she was just speaking, it unlocked a core memory that I tried to completely disappear and never think about, right? And I was triggered. I was like, oh, damn.
You girls got fans.
Yeah? What are they saying? What are they saying?
There's just more comments. A lot of people watching on all different platforms.
Oh, that's dope.
I know Day Day. Day Day, she said Team Bree.
I love Day Day. Shout out to Day Day.
Nicholas Alfaro, I love Ashley.
It's still coming too. We're just yes.
And then Day Day said again, she said Bree, so beautiful. Nicholas Alfredo, Team Ashley again.
It's like a
Right.
TikTok battle.
Irvin said, since all of y'all are religious, what's your take on BC? Do you mean BC, like, do you mean like
birth control?
Birth control.
before Christ or birth control?
Before
Before Christ or birth
birth
control?
control.
AD at a diamond? Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're knowledgeable here,
Hey, let's go
so
on birth control.
I mean, but like, I mean, that's neither. I mean, we don't want to get too political, like, you know what I mean? Obviously, everybody has their own
Yeah, well, that's why we'll
preferences.
ask.
You know what I mean?
You want to go at it?
I'm not scared.
Yeah.
No, when I was younger, I didn't have sex for a really long time. I didn't have sex till I was about 18. So compared to a lot of people I was around, a lot of my friends, they were having sex at 13, 14. You know, my dad told me straight up, like, he had sex when he was 12. And I was like, damn, that's crazy,
That's
George.
wild.
Like, you know what I mean? But he also grew up
Crazy,
with...
George.
Yeah, that's crazy, George. But he grew up with
God
all
damn it, Avery.
brothers in that age. And my dad
He was a player at 12.
He was not playing. He was not playing.
Hey, you see her here, don't you? He wasn't playing no games.
No. So I ended up, he put in my head, like, literally so young, he's like, you're going to go to school, you're going to go to college, and this is how you're going to go to college. Full ride, like, this is what we're doing. Like, you're not fucking around. My curfew was 8 p.m. every day.
And you had
I couldn't go to dances.
a house full of brothers too, right?
I had one brother,
Okay.
but he was a wild one. He was
I got a
out of
daughter, so
control.
I'm going to do the same shit.
No, and he was real strict. Like, I had to have a 3.5 GPA to even have a phone in high school.
Yeah, my kid has
Like,
to
it
have
was
straight
real.
A's. He gets
No,
all straight
that's
A's. Yeah.
straight, real, like how it is.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be like
Absolutely.
that. Like, be on your
And,
kids.
and
Not-
school ain't
I
even
mean,
like what it was back then. So
And it's hella hard back then.
Right.
Yeah,
So like, but like how,
Better
but,
get A's.
You don't want
but
to
like,
get
but
too
like, but see,
strict
like,
and
but,
then make
but see,
them do things that
right.
you don't want them to.
And that
That's
kind
what
of that
experienced.
I experienced that a little bit with my dad.
I
Like, I'd
wasn't
be
that
scared.
kid with the A's. I was a kid,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I was a
Like,
little scared.
I just want to make it enough just so I could play sports. You know what I
No,
mean?
for sure.
I'm trying to get that, you know what I mean, that B plus or that even a D. As long as I'm on the field, nigga, that's what
You're
I'm
good.
gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
But it still gave you something
something-
to
yeah.
stay
but what I'm saying
disciplined on.
Right, but what I'm saying is if my parents was like, no, you need to get this A, I think it would have fucked me up more, and then it would have, you know what I mean?
pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of like, you know what I mean? It's like, right. Stupid.
That's hella funny.
Stupid.
no, Dad.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about.
I do. Just kidding.
He gets it.
You're on my team. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Fuck you,
so
normal breathers.
That was really like for me. That was it. And my dad told me, he's like, if you get pregnant, it's over. Then I had a home girl. We got committed at the same time. She got pregnant.
Wait, so when you got pregnant, did your dad? Like,
No,
was
whoa. Oh, this year. I was like,
No,
no, I got you.
You're not pregnant.
I was like, whoa.
Wait, no,
When
she's
I was
not pregnant.
24.
When you got pregnant, did your dad like? Did he feel a certain way?
Oh my goodness. So as I'm
disown you
supposed,
type
he knew
thing?
I was
Like-
supposed to leave. So I got signed to go play in Iceland. I was supposed to leave. I found out I was pregnant February 13th. I was supposed to leave the 21st.
Playing in the snow?
Yeah. No, actually it's green there.
Oh shit.
It's opposite,
Greenland
yeah.
is the
Oh,
opposite,
shit.
actually.
And he found out, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know how he came about, but he came into my room and he goes, he knew something was up with me. He's like, are you bringing a grandchild into this?
Damn.
Randomly came in your room.
Randomly
That's just
came
no
into my
shit.
room.
You weren't like throwing up or nothing. No
Nothing.
He was
signs.
a real
Nothing.
dad then. Like he was.
No, he was on me.
He was
Yeah.
involved.
Me and him were like
involved.
this.
He smelled
Not
it.
like this.
He smelled it.
He literally came in my room and he's like, are you bringing me a grandchild into this world? And I put my head down And I just started crying, and he's like, fuck, Ashley. And I was like,
Damn.
and I didn't know how to react. And he told me, he's like, you better really think about what you're going to do. But he was very like that. Like, he was very black and white. He's like, you're going to go this way, you're going to go this way.
Right.
And I really respect that because that's how I am now. I'm very black and white. There's no in between.
Was your mom? Are you talking about your dad? Was your mom in the picture?
So my mom was an addict since I was 5. So both my parents were addicts. My dad got locked up. He got an F on his report card, you get me?
Yeah.
And he ended up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so he ended up being in there, and then my mom and she was really abusive, so we got taken.
Okay.
And as we got taken, my dad was just coming out, but they told me he was in Hawaii. So I'm thinking he's coming home from vacation, and he's actually locked up. Crazy shit.
Hey, that shit is hilarious.
Yeah, they told me, and he didn't tell me till I was way older. Like, okay, let me tell you.
I was locked up,
I
right?
wasn't working in Hawaii.
I wasn't
You on
surfing.
vacation and we over here again.
I was like, yeah, no, that's exactly how I
Damn,
felt.
but that's crazy. Like,
Yeah, so my mom was really off her shits, and at that point, the abusive stuff had happened, and my brother ended up calling the cops. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And then my dad was coming out, and they're like, either you get clean or you're done. Your kids are gone. So my dad got clean, and ever since that moment, he didn't touch. But my mom used until I was about 23 years old. So I'm telling you, living behind a Del Taco in Fullerton, and I would pull up and give her money or clothes, whatever she needed. But that's how it was. I'd pay for her apartments because I was making really good money.
damn, I feel you.
Paying her apartments.
I used to do the
paying
same
her
thing with
apartments, and
my
then
mom. I used to give her food.
And that's what I'm saying. And I at some point, at the end of it, I told my brother, I was like, man, figure this shit out yourself. Like, I'm done. I can't help her. Like, this is too much for me. And I was in college. I was working in college, trying to do all these things. And I was like, this is too much. Yeah. So I started blacking out that part. I started not caring. I didn't answer a call. I didn't care if she overdosed. I had gotten 3 calls. She overdosed. I didn't cry one time. Damn. I didn't care if she died. And that's some real, like,
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I really did not cry. Yeah. And everyone's like, you're so heartless. You're so heartless. I said, nah,
Sometimes
I know.
you just get like, damn, it's too much.
It's too much. And I'm cold as it is, kind of. That's how my personality is. I'm very cold. So with that, I became super cold. And yeah, so my mom wasn't around. She actually got clean right before I had my daughter about. And
5 years ago? So
about 5 years ago now, she's clean. And it's crazy to see her progress. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really crazy because she's around. She lives with me now. Like, my dad passed away, and she actually moved in with me to help me out.
Dang.
Yeah. So it's really crazy.
Your dad was like the one that was like, your
Oh, my
rock.
dad was everything. I can't even talk about it. My dad was everything. Like, that's like when I envision a man, that was a man. Like, that was he never introduced me to a woman. He never brought a woman home. He literally kept it so real. Like, no, this is what it is. This is how you're gonna grow up, and that's it. Yeah, I never met one of his girlfriends or any of his little side plays, whatever he was doing. You get me? Never.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's crazy to hear like your guys' stories and see the drive that you have to just do better. You know, a lot of times I feel like some people just succumb to that, and you know, you had a moment, but you've risen from that. You know what I mean? You dug yourself out. You've grown from there. Like, it's amazing to see and hear like stories like that. I feel like I commend you guys because it's rough. It's hard to go through something like that growing up and only knowing that to now seeing how successful you guys are. You know what I mean? And that's awesome. Like, I want to commend you guys. That's
Appreciate
great.
that.
Keep going. Yeah.
So let's start here then. What's next for you? Like, what's the next step? Like, where do you want to do?
Oh, that's crazy. So, I
know you had those things you were crossing off.
So no. So, honestly, I'm like really big. So I bought my house in beginning of 2019. I bought my house in Corona. I ended up buying a house 2 years ago in Vegas. Yeah, so that's kind of what I want to get. That's why I got into real estate. I know a lot of people. So like, I know a lot of people in multiple places, and that's why I'm trying to get with my real estate license, I'm doing a 10-hour course to do my Las Vegas course as well at the same time. Because I know a lot of people over there who are looking for houses. And then I just bought the Auntie Annie's, and I'm trying to get into food trucks more. So that was my deal with the person I partnered with, was like, all right, I'm going to give you the Auntie Annie's. It's in North Carolina. You run it, and then you're going to give me a Jamba Juice out here. As soon as I'm paid off, we're going to run this Jamba Juice. Nice. And that was one of our deals that we made as well. And obviously I want to coach too, and I want to train kids, but that's not super important to me, honestly. Like, I'm trying to finish my career. Yeah. I'm thinking about going and playing in Mexico if my life fits that, but it's different.
And you how many years do you think you have
to play? I won't play after 2 more years.
I'll
be done at 32.
Okay.
I can feel my body's different. Like I'm having issues in like my Achilles, and I'm like, damn, this kind of sucks. Like, I've never had an Achilles problem before.
I rupture mines.
Oh yeah, I'm scared.
Fuck.
And like I'm having super tender spots in there, and I took off a week. I was telling her I never take off weeks, and my trainer was sick. Like I have a personal trainer who trains me 3 or 4 times a week. Shout out GL4. And he was off because he was sick, and taking off that week for me really helped my Achilles because I played this week, and I was like, damn, I feel good. Like it's the first time I felt so good playing. So those moments, but
so that's the reason why you got the 2 businesses, because you know you're hanging it up soon, so you got something to fall back on.
absolutely.
That's why.
And then getting my real estate
first.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
No way.
you're thinking ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I try to set up everything. Like I said, like obviously I want to sell my Corona house some point here. It's worth damn near triple the amount when I bought it. I bought it at $400,000. Now it's beyond that. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
amazing.
Buy it.
Equity.
yeah, equity is
definitely.
crazy. So it's saying like
We
that.
got somebody that can sell it for you if you need it sold.
Yeah, so those things, and obviously working on my real estate license and going that route. But yeah, I'm trying to really get into like food trucks. I'm also working on like a company that's licensed in marijuana that does THCA. I'm working with them, helping them do stuff because I do a lot of accounting as well on the side for people. So I do a lot of their accounting for big businesses like that. And I help them audit stuff, yeah.
I might need your help on some of my stuff because I
got
need some
you.
accounting
No, for real. I'm
for
like,
this place.
no, absolutely. Like I do audits and stuff like that as well, expenses audits, anything like that. I do it for my Auntie Annie's as well. So I do all my
Yeah, I'll probably hit you
accounting.
up for sure.
anytime you need help.
Because it's too much. The books
No,
is
it's
just too
hella
much.
stuff. Yeah, it's hella.
And then the goals are up and coming for you.
So for me right now, okay, so you know, I
Yeah, what's the
took
next
my little
step?
break. I've been getting my experience, and in the next like 2 to 3 years, I have like a timeline, and I really want to build my real estate, you know, portfolio, buy property. Same thing, not in the state of California. It's way crazy out here, but out of state, and get my Arizona real estate license next. Yeah, because I
You
mean,
guys got goals. Like, this is crazy.
Are you
You guys are making me want to
love
start another
it. It's
business. I'm like,
motivating
shit. Like,
So
damn.
are you like into like the flipping houses type thing? Like you know.
that's my overall goal at the end. You know, in the next 2 years, I have like a timeline that I want to hit. So
Buy
by, you
in.
know, 29, 30, that have it like set, you know, and I'm not at that, you know, point where I'm just like establishing myself. But that's where I am right now, and kind of just taking experience for experience, gaining my capital and what I need to know to like, you know, apply that and like really, you know, take, you know, the overall like success and everything and what I want to do with my overall goals.
What are you putting more time into right now, though? Your planning business?
Planning my so
your
right now
real estate?
because you know real estate and all of that, I've kind of already gained what I need to know and what I need to do. So now I'm just kind of like trying to establish my event planning business to kind of use that as more like extra income and like the capital gain to what I need to, you know.
You got to
put
have a
into.
lot going on all the time, huh?
You
Do you
know?
have halls?
I do the same shit. I got this business. I got different ones going on.
Do you have halls? Like for the quinceañera, like you have your own building, like your halls.
Not my own yet, but I do. That's one of my goals
Right,
to
what's
hit,
that?
to buy a commercial building
Yeah.
and use it as my own to kind of. So I already have like a whole vision board and everything of like how I want to like use that for like events and kind of like a. I don't want to get too into it, but I have my goals, you know, and that's
Yeah.
what I want to focus on in the next 2 to 3 years to establish myself overall, build my real estate portfolio, establish my businesses, establish myself.
Nice.
For sure.
That's good. Let's go to you now.
Yeah. What's the goals?
So
next step?
I would
Next
say
step.
my next step within the next couple weeks, I'm applying for grad school. I am going to apply
Where, if you
to
don't mind me asking?
Cal Baptist University.
Private. Okay.
Yeah. And I think also just going through everything that I went through this past year was exactly what I needed to go through to be mentally ready for school. I've been out of school for 5 years, and I wasn't at a mental space to like sit down and do homework. I was working 3 jobs, you know, out in the Bay, and I was in a relationship at the time. So it just like, I was not in a good space to do it. I had always aspired to, but like, how was I going to go to school full time and then work and do all the things? I did it for my undergrad, but it was tough.
So what are you going to school for? Just to elevate what you do?
So
already
I want to
do?
get my master's in social work.
Okay.
Once I get my master's in social work, the doors kind of open. I can go 2 routes. I can do my master's in like an MFT route and become like marriage family therapist, or I can do MSW, which is social work. And I had thought about therapy, but seeing what therapists do, I think it's great work. It's just not for me. I want to be able to help families in more capacities than just therapy.
Like, what do you mean, like family therapy? What is that? about?
Because there's a difference between therapy and psychology.
Social work.
There's
social
okay,
work, like,
so
so what- so-
there's a few different things. So there's psychology, which is like when you think of like therapy, a marriage family therapist, that is someone that you go and see on a regular basis and you talk about trauma, right? They can help you through like a grieving process. And then there's a psychologist or a psychiatrist. So the psychologist is basically a therapist. There's a psychiatrist who prescribes you medication.
That's the like medical doctor.
That's the medical doctor. And then there's a social worker. But a social worker, I think, has a really negative stigma. Everyone automatically thinks like you're the person that takes the kids away. And that's not necessarily true, you know? Like a social worker can be someone that works in HR for a really successful business. A social worker can be somebody who's helping out the homeless. Social worker could really be anybody. But
Kinda
I
like
want
a
to
caseworker,
yeah.
but in social
It's because we grew up in the hood. That's why.
yeah, you got to help everyone out. But I think I want to go social work route because the doors, it doesn't limit me to just one
Right.
path.
Yeah.
It opens the doors to a lot of different avenues, right? And I want to be able to have my own business as well. I thought about opening my own residential or rehab now.
That's dope.
Now that I
makes a lot of money. I have a friend that owns, has like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
He actually opens them up and then sells them.
Because I think like working in the field, there's so much that I've gained, but there's also so much that I would change. And because I think it needs to just be more real. Like I really appreciate the clients that have like given me feedback on what I'm doing well, what I could work on or what I could change or whatever. But it's been really incredible to impact people's lives, you know, and actually have, there's nothing like, I think when I first experienced someone write a letter to me, like thanking me for helping them and like listening to them, that really changed my life. I was like, this is why I do it, you know, like, and we all have a story. Like I said before, we all have a story. So like, if you're willing to just sit down and listen to someone for a second and help them, that can change their life. Yeah. And I think, especially in today's world, addiction is huge.
Yeah.
Using substances is huge,
and you
right?
You never
like
know
normal.
what someone's going through.
Right.
Too. So it's like where their mind
Sounds
is
like
at.
sound like you need your own practice. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, so I wanna eventually have my own practice, and with social work, with getting my master's in social work, I have the ability to do everything. And I love to travel, so the typical 9 to 5 is really not for me right now. It's 7 to 4:30, which is my schedule at the moment, and it is rough. But I know that it's only going to be for a few years until I could obtain that master's, because I'm at a position right now where they're going to help me pay for grad school, and that's exactly what I prayed for, you know. So I'm like, okay, let me take this for what it is right now.
Yeah.
A little sacrifice. Right. I'm uncomfortable, but at least I have my own room now, so that's good, you know. So and I knew that all of it was going to work out. I didn't know it was going to look like this.
So, trust the process.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
definitely
Trust
trust
the
the
process.
process. Yeah,
Light at the end of the
and
tunnel.
pray. God, give it all to God, honestly.
And
First and foremost.
Yeah.
Andrea Rodriguez said, "Here for Bree." I don't know if you know Andrea Rodriguez.
Love you, Andrea.
Sophia Palma said,
Oh, that's my cousin.
so she
guys still have a lot of
she said, "What's everyone's current relationship status?"
Oh, okay.
Not the episode.
Sophie.
We might as well. Let's go.
Sophie.
Wait,
start with you then.
wait, hold on. Is she being messy?
She might be being
She being messy?
No, my little cousin likes the chisme. It's okay, girl. I see you.
Where we starting at? Who's going first?
So, am I going first?
Go ahead.
I'm single. I was in a relationship a year ago, and I moved down. And when I moved back,
He was from the Bay. He was in the Bay?
yeah, and that was my first relationship in 8 years.
Oh shit.
I was in an 8-year relationship from high school up until I moved to the Bay. I tried long distance, didn't work out, got cheated on, and then
You're the committed type.
yeah, but then it also, you have to figure things out. And I think when you're young and you're in a committed relationship like that, you grow up together. And like we were talking about earlier, the trauma bonds, right? I lost my dad, he lost his dad. Like there was a lot going on at the time. Anyways, fast forward, I finally get into a relationship, but then I moved down here. I tried long distance for a little bit, but I was going through it. So I was like,
missing them type shit?
yeah, I was just like, I can't do this. And it's not, and I had to, and I'm so thankful though. I'm so thankful for that relationship, because it taught me how to be in a healthy relationship. You know, like it really forced me to unlearn those learned behaviors and those toxic traits. And like,
So you're toxic is what I'm hearing.
No,
I'm
Let me
reformed.
start.
You know what
Soy
it was?
toxica.
That first
Soy
long distance
toxica.
Soy
relationship,
toxica.
you were traumatized.
Trauma.
So when
Here
you
we
were,
go. Here we go.
No, it's real.
you know, this is going back to legit. You were in a long distance relationship
Yeah.
before, so those triggers and those
Oh,
traumas
here we go,
came
triggers.
back because you tried to have that healthy long distance relationship the second time and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Because obviously those triggers were still
Right.
there, you know.
And
now,
he was great, but I think that more for me,
Right.
I was like, I can't give you the energy that you're giving me, and I don't think that's
So
fair.
he was a good guy.
He was amazing.
So you let a good guy go.
That's
I had to.
Damn.
That's how y'all would put
say
it.
it like that.
That's how y'all would put it. That's how y'all would put it.
But how
How would you
does
put
say
it?
it? Like,
Wait, hold on.
like, for real though.
He's a
for
good guy.
real.
Yes, he's a good guy.
He's a
So
great guy.
so you
What
let
if you
so
could
you
never
let
find
go of a
someone
good
like
guy.
him?
I did let go of a good guy.
Because
So-
you just couldn't have
She
it.
could
because
Hey.
you had
I
to
tried
have
to
that-
push you first.
Hey, you know,
keep in contact
you know,
at all?
Yeah,
you
we
know,
check in,
you
we
know,
check in.
you know what she hit him with. You know what she hit him with. It's not you, it's me.
She really did.
You guys,
She
you
did?
guys, wait. Let me say something
Not that
though.
it's not you, it's me.
Okay,
Hey,
if,
go ahead, say something. I want to
if
hear
you're
it. I want to rebuttal.
if you're not mentally okay, right? I would rather be the partner that says, "Look, I'm not okay,
Right.
and I can't step
straight
up.
up.
Okay,
I
okay.
can't step up to the plate like you are right now, and I don't know when I'm gonna be able to because I'm not in the same place that I was in."
Hey King,
You know?
hey King, whoever you, hey, stay strong.
Oh
Hey, be strong.
She let you go.
Hey, be strong.
Be bad from here on out.
Be strong.
No.
And
That's
that's
wild.
why
That's
we act the
wild.
way we act. No, I'm saying.
And Sophie, that's on you, sis.
Hey, we're not done. We're gonna
Look
get
what you started. Who wants to go next?
Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
next. It's on you. It's
That's
on you.
crazy.
So
Relationship
relationship status.
status.
Single.
Okay.
How
long?
like all caps single or like
Just
lowercase
single,
single?
chill, single.
Because
Okay.
like girls are never
Chill.
really single.
No. Hold on. Let's get into that real quick.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay.
So I had a boyfriend a year ago.
Almost something in my chair.
Hold up. Huh? To be that high.
She's getting a little
Oh,
red.
you heard it. She hit it with the hun, the male. Oh, you heard us.
She
Huh?
did the mouth. She did the mouth.
Yo, you heard us.
So,
okay. So single and then
Let us talk. Let her talk.
Thank you,
let the girl
Golly.
speak.
Let her get it out.
We're just making sure we're gonna call it out as it happens.
so
That's all.
so single.
So,
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah, keep
Single.
thinking.
Okay.
Keep
A year
thinking.
ago.
yes, a year ago.
Got you, girl.
Broke up with the person I was with.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the music industry, nightlife, all that stuff. Honestly, no, but honestly, it does affect you. You know what I'm saying? Really, not the person for me. He did a lot of foul stuff, and I held it down really well on my end. And then, towards the end of it, I started to realize, like, damn, girl, like my dad was getting sick. So as soon as my dad got sick, there was no more of me being able to go hang out. I was taking took care of my dad 24/7. She knows
Where's
I was.
the support from him?
There was no support. So I'm taking care of my dad
That is
24/7.
an asshole move.
No.
Like, bad.
You know what I mean? Expecting me to
Like,
do
what the
so
fuck?
much, but like 24/7 taking care of my dad, literally taking care of like as if I had another child, and he didn't understand. And at that point, I started to realize like there's so much more to this, and I cannot be here anymore with you. Like, and he was cheating, doing things, and I would find out, and every 3 months it was something new, and I was like, man, I'm done. So then, in regards to my situation now, what I describe it as like I need someone who's going to match my flow. Like if you're gonna flow with my life and understand that, look, I train 3 times a day. I'm leaving out of the country for 4 months. You either understand it or you don't.
Well, a lot of the time though, the dude like you need.
He's the one out of state, like doing all that shit. Like,
No,
that's
I
just
know,
what she's
I know.
doing.
But I'm not saying. But what I'm saying is like you probably need a dude that is kind of above your flow. 'Cause
Absolutely.
That's usually what it comes down to.
No,
like,
or someone who's
with
gonna
girls that are
understand.
successful,
Absolutely.
You guys usually need someone more successful. Like,
Absolutely.
in all that way
To-
than
and
you.
to even understand, like,
But does that mean that you won't mess with a guy?
absolutely
Wait,
not.
wait, hold on. Wait. Does that mean that you won't mess with a guy that's not above you, but he treats you right though?
Okay, so like, I don't even want to say it, but like,
So, no, I'm saying like,
obviously,
He's turning into our DNR episode right now.
hey.
no, I would.
Because
I would.
because
absolutely.
would you,
But it usually
we asked
doesn't
that question
work
before.
out.
We asked that question before. Would you take the rich dude who's doing all that shit, but he cheats on you and treats
Absolutely
you wrong?
not.
Right?
We ain't
Or would
saying
you take it? Well,
So in
but
my
what she said
opinion,
is-
I think that like
We'll get to you,
I'm
too.
gonna say like
All three.
love
just
doesn't
has to be
matter. Like
understanding.
love is only so far. Like, I'm gonna take someone who's loyal over anybody in this
And that's
entire
true.
world over love. I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
I'll take someone's loyalty and their trustworthiness over love any fucking day, because love comes with that. If you love somebody, you will always be loyal. You will not be disloyal if you love
Yeah,
somebody.
that's true.
And that comes with your family. That comes in any aspect. Your friends,
Well,
anybody.
well, if he's not even being there for you or even
Right.
helping you with your dad, that's some like.
Fucked up shit.
So, like, yeah, my situation is what it is. I mean, I found somebody that I like, and I'm working on that, and that's
Wait.
it.
Oh, you
Right,
found
like
somebody
now?
We're
Wait,
not
wait,
gonna go
wait,
here.
wait.
I'm not airing that out.
Did you hear her try to sneak that in?
But anyways, I'm just
Let's move on to the
right.
next one. That's what
Right.
you gotta do.
Right,
Nah,
we're
that's-
good?
Wait,
no,
hold
we're not.
Not good. I
Wait,
can't be moved on.
Wait, hold on. Before I get in trouble.
Hold on. How much?
Right.
How much do you like this new guy?
A lot.
A lot.
Oh, I love it for you.
Like a lot.
Easy,
a lot.
ladies.
A lot.
Oh,
Supportive?
damn.
Yeah, he's great.
Ali,
He's a dime.
What? Well, you know who he is?
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm just playing. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
I'm being messy. Alejandra,
messy.
Alejandra's getting mad at me. One of you guys is friends. She said, "Bree, baby, I love you, Bree." Adalyn 3, we love you. Bree, we love you. Damn, Clarissa. I don't want to mess up your
Girls
last
got
name.
stats.
Pasmino.
Yeah,
That
Pasmino.
one just
I love you. I love you,
stays,
Bree.
like,
Jessica. Do you know how? I don't know.
Conche?
Damn, were y'all parents?
Oh,
Jessica. Jess, hey queen.
So proud of my girls. Love you, Liv and Ash. What does that say right there? Hold on.
Yolanda Bugarin.
Oh, it's
Dang,
my
there's a
cousin.
lot of people.
Here for you, Olivia.
Aw, love you.
Irvin.
Vladimir.
Yeah,
Irvin.
Irvin's talking about something else. Like
Irvin's wildin' or
Yeah,
what?
no, Irvin.
Irvin.
Just read it.
He said the guest.
The
You
guest
said
panel
about
must
your racks.
the guest panel must be from Rack City with the fire emoji.
That's really crazy.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
Irvin.
Andrea Rodriguez.
Rack City.
Right.
Rack City.
Oh, just big titties, girl.
I don't know what
Hey,
you're
you're
talking
good.
about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Get the fans, you know. It's cool.
Andrea Rodriguez here for you, Bree. Sophia Pamela. So what's everyone? Okay, I read that one already. Then we have
Dang.
and who?
Your girls are like famous.
So
over here or
so Irvin said, "Who's the most? Who? Wait, hold on. Before we get that, we didn't get to the relationship side with you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't forget. Yeah.
Well, I didn't forget the whole time.
Can we
We're
skip?
gone.
Just kidding.
Nah.
So
Okay.
relationship status in the mic so the fans can hear you.
Relationship status.
Oh, dang, you gotta think about it.
Listen, it's a little.
Not to listen. She sounds like a whole dude right now.
There's a
Listen.
story behind it.
My situation's a little complicated right
Situationship.
now. Not
In the mic.
necessarily. I'm not in love with anyone. I'm not.
Oh.
Are you
like-
talking? Are you
So
talking to
you're in
anybody?
lust. You're in lust with somebody.
Are you talking to?
I'm in love. Just kidding.
Are you
no,
talking
no,
to somebody?
honestly, nothing like that. To get on a serious note, me and my husband,
Whoa,
ex-husband,
okay.
separated. Okay, so listen.
And now he's your side dude.
No.
just-
Okay, I have been
Let her
with
speak.
this
Golly.
my person at the time.
Mic closer to the mic.
When I was, we got together at 14. We trauma bonded. We kind of like locked into each other. We raised each other through like a lot of things. It was me and him from 14 till last year, of the beginning of the year, where we kind of just established like our differences and that we have grown apart, But we had our son. We have our son, together. It was always very, hopefully he's not watching this.
He's watching. He just.
It was kind of a really, we really weren't seeing eye to eye. I kind of.
So you're in a relationship with them now, or what's going on?
We have established like
They're wondering.
Boundaries.
our boundaries
Okay.
and separation and kind of like co-parenting. And here and there, yeah, we get along and whatnot, and it's a little better than what it
Spin
was
the block, you
last
mean?
few.
So you guys hook up a little bit sometimes.
All I heard was spin.
Can she tell her story?
She told the story, and then when she said that we get along, when she said we get along, I heard spin the block. I'm sorry, like
Let her finish.
I heard spin the block.
Co-parenting and just kind of like being adults.
Yeah,
Being adults. Spin up the
Adults.
block every once in a while.
that's what they call it.
We're adults. We
Y'all
can
are
just do
saying that. I am not, okay, to my situationship. Just kidding.
Oh, now we know he's a situation still.
Okay, so put
Let's
it.
not put all my business
Right.
out
Okay.
there.
So put it. Okay. So put it this way: if a dude came up to you, and he asked you, "Hey, let me buy you a drink. Let me talk to you." Hey, by the
would
way,
you
are you in a relationship? Can I get your number? What would you say?
I would, depending on the
You said
vibe,
yeah
No.
first.
The vibe, everything. Would you give him your number and say yes, yes or no?
Since I established what I've established,
Shit, nigga talking.
I
I can't take it. I can't take it.
You literally are.
You can't talk to. You can't do this. You can't
are
bullshit
so
a bullshitter.
me out so bad.
So this.
I need to back the
I'm bleeding right now.
There's only
Hey, just say.
40,000 people
I'm
watching.
trying to make it easy for you. So if he came up to you and said, "Hey, let me get your number. You sound cool. He's vibing."
Honestly,
Are you giving him your number? Yes or no?
My boundaries and what I've been through and the heartbreak I experienced after, establishing what I've established.
She's still doing it.
No.
Yes
So
or no?
so basically, in layman's terms, what she's saying, she's not gonna give him the number because she's
No.
talking to somebody right now.
But she probably will at the same time.
Right. So that's what it is. She might. She
I'm
might.
gonna let them take the role.
No, we got you. I understand everything. I understand that
we did.
language.
The
I'm
more you
bilingual.
talk, the more we understand.
I'm bilingual. Yeah, for sure.
We speak the same language.
You guys
Yeah.
are making me look so bad.
No, you're good. No, hey, go, play on. Like,
Not at all, you guys.
no, you're good. And then they're wrong
I
with that.
had somebody I really liked after I established what I established.
I heard
the
that keyword. Yes.
separation.
What else?
And
You're in lust.
it put me through a lot of self-reflection. I'll say that.
Right.
Because I thought, again, I was almost like repeating what I had did already,
Mm-hmm.
like gaining an attachment and kind of finding out someone like to kind of like codepend on.
Someone else.
So are you kind of like healing right now?
Yes.
You're healing.
I'm healing.
okay.
I'm healing. I'm not trying to get into anybody like anybody or get into like my past relationships or like anything like that. I'm healing myself.
So you just
and I'm finding
just
myself.
chilling right now, huh?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit, we know what that means. When you say
No,
just
what does
chilling.
that mean? What does that
Nothing.
Focus.
Ali,
She's trying to rebrand herself.
Yes,
You know what chilling is,
rebrand.
Let her do her
Yeah,
work.
help her, sis.
Yeah.
Ali,
you.
6 years
I
old.
got
Within
you.
Objection.
12-year relationship.
Objection.
Alejandra says, Rico, you better tell Bree her BFF is on here. Skip my message. My bad, Bree.
Hi, Alejandra. I love you, baby.
Irvin, do y'all care about guys' body count?
Guys, body count.
You know what? After the guy I've experienced, yes. Stay away from nightlife, guys. You guys.
You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna tell you real quick because this, like, I feel like I've talked to like guy friends, and if I know like who they messed with,
She
like
started it.
a body, right? I feel like that.
Don't even do it. Don't even mention it. It's pointless.
No, but
You gonna hurt
it
yourself.
kind of turns me. It turns me off. Like I would never go there with you.
You gonna hurt
you know
yourself.
What I mean?
Especially when
somebody's
there's
gonna be
a lot
hurt.
of opinions and like
It's like a specific one too. If I know you mess with this one person, I'm like, no.
Cross you off.
Ali
You're
sent
done.
me. Ali sent me
You're
to Black Cup. That's
Oh yeah, Marquis.
Please, nice hat, Rick. Hey, shout out.
I
Marquis.
caught that earlier.
Shout out,
Another
Marquis.
podcast-
Hey,
another
shout out,
podcast
Marquis.
that we like.
Black Cup Therapy. This is his hat. You guys go follow. He's a good guy. David Junior Sanchez said Melanie is lying.
What am I lying about?
Melanie, stop lying.
Why
I
the
don't
fuck
lie. I
you
keep it
lying?
100 all the time. I'm gonna tell you
Right,
as
yeah.
much as
I
honest
know
as
Melanie through
possible.
this whole thing. She's had my back.
That's why we know.
I don't lie. I keep it 100, and
It all
he
makes
knows
sense.
that.
So we got taken.
You know.
Talking. We got,
It's new.
If
It's
someone were to
new.
come up and ask me for my number,
Oh,
I
right
would
here.
say,
No. Yeah, let's hear that.
Okay, if someone were to come up, that was a great.
Yeah.
I would have to say absolutely not. You're not getting my Instagram. You're not getting my number. You're not getting anything.
boom.
Boom. What about you? Anybody ask for your number? What happens?
Run it.
She's outside.
Why you like that so much?
She outside.
You got so happy that. Like why? Why? I just want to know why.
You're happy for her singleness.
I'm
so
happy
are
for
you
her.
giving the
Run it.
are you giving the number?
Honestly, listen.
You're not giving the number?
After
Here
all
we
the
go. Here we
trauma
Damn, dude, I'm trying to help you out.
and the heartbreak I got put through and my attachment issues, absolutely not. I am good.
I do have to say though, you just have to be selective now.
Right.
Once you go
Okay.
through the
Yes.
healing,
Have
right,
boundaries.
Guys and girls, yes.
Understand.
yeah,
we do.
right. I mean, I think everyone goes through phases and the post breakup and
The
all of
douchebag
that,
phase.
right? Everything, the healing, the wilding, like everything. You come to a point where you're like, okay, I found my self-value. I found my self-respect. I want to be with a person that has this, has that, whatever. I have my non-negotiables, right? And like, there are certain things that I'm just not going to compromise.
Okay, we're almost done. We're about to close right now.
But yeah, I think that's something that you really have to consider now. Is like,
Definitely.
are you gonna meet me where I'm at, and are you also gonna elevate with me and push me to grow? Because that's what I want.
Okay, and one more question from the chat. It says one thing the girls would tell their younger self.
Ooh.
And then we're gonna end
Quick
it.
though, because we gotta end it.
Okay.
I want to say stay as single as long as you can. Really focus on your goals and your overall where you want to
That's
get
what
to
you're
in
gonna tell your
life.
little you.
And keep the guys to the side. Like,
Oh,
keep
to
all
the
the
side.
distractions out
Love
and
that.
focus on yourself,
Love
like and
that.
where you want to go, and cut out everything else.
Because you know what, love will, or a guy will come later on in life. Like if he aligns with you and what your goals and ambitions are,
Yes. When you're
the
60.
right
A man
person
can
will
really
come.
interfere, and
If
from
I
my
hear he
experience, it
is.
can interfere so negatively.
And then what would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self that it's not my fault.
Ooh,
That's deep. Yeah.
Nice.
That what I went through was not
Damn.
my fault, and that it was okay to be sad and angry and upset, and that it gets better. But in that moment, it wasn't my fault.
Love that.
So keep going. Just keep pushing. There's always a brighter day ahead, no matter what. So that's it.
And then you guys want to shout out your business, any businesses that you guys have an IG
Shout
for,
out Auntie Annie's.
and then they can follow you guys at your business or your wherever your pages are.
Lux Vibe Events and Brianna Z Real Estate, 2 of my pages.
and one last thing, how was your guys' experience on the show?
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, you guys are fun.
Crazy, scary, spooky,
Yeah.
hilarious.
Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Crazy.
How was
So-
yours? I didn't hear yours because of the mic.
It was funny. You guys are hella funny.
Appreciate you for coming.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Hell yeah. So
5-star
our
Yelp review. Sorry.
period. Our slogan is shed the sheep. So on 3, you guys look into the camera and we're gonna say shed the sheep. Whichever one. But so shed the sheep is the slogan. So 1, 2, 3. Shed the sheep.
How's over Bass? I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
I'm Melanie.
And we're out.
Shout you girls out. We're out.
Peace.
Hi, guys.